Hello and welcome to the DSP project. I'm your host Rupert Brown, and this week we're going to be reviewing the APC20. This here is not the APC20, this is an APC40, but this is the predecessor, the bigger brother that I will be kind of referencing while talking about the APC20. Essentially, those of you out there that are sharp will realize that 20 is half of 40, and essentially what they've done is they've split it down the middle here and gotten rid of all these rotary encoders and the crossfader and these transport controls and left us with one half of it. And it looks very similar, well, in fact exactly like this here. Now, when I first saw this, not in the flesh but sort of saw it online, I sort of thought, well, why would you get that when really, you know, if it's a matter of money, you're probably better off waiting, doing another paper round, saving up and getting the APC40 and getting all the controls and everything as opposed to this cut down version. Although now that I've actually had it here and I've started having a little play with it, I realised that it can actually do a few things that its big brother can't. One of the big features of this one is that it has a note mode. So what that means is you can now control your drum racks and also enter note data for your synthesizers and things like that from the APC20 that the APC40 can't do out of the box. Another simple little thing that I like, that I don't think was even intended as a feature, is the stop all clips button. You now have to hold down shift in order to get it. On the APC40 you basically have a stop all clips button here, and if you accidentally hit that, everything turns off. Now that's not a big deal because you can map that stop all clips to another function that you're not using to disable it, but just as reviewing the sort of out of the box functionality, because that's really how these things are marketed, as this tight integration where you just plug it in and away you go. Another advantage that this unit has over the APC40, and I didn't think about this at first, is interfacing with one of these. This is my gear bag here, and you see I've got this is a case for a 15-inch MacBook Pro, and the APC40, you can maybe just get it in there, but you're not going to be able to zip that thing up. It's just too big, and there's very few backpacks that will suit it. There is one custom-made one that I think that they've done called Momo or something. Mono, I think it's called, but it's quite big and a bit expensive and not that great. Whereas the APC20, on the other hand, just slides right in there, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's plenty of room there. There's my MacBook, my controller, and there's heaps of room in there for an interface and some other stuff. I mean, this is quite a big, decent-sized backpack, and the APC40 doesn't fit in it. So as you can see, there's definitely some advantages. What else have we got on here? The faders is another cool thing. It's set up so, because we've lost all those encoders on the side here, we can now use the faders to not only control the volumes, but the pans, the sends, and there's 3 user modes as well, which is where this thing starts getting really interesting. I think this has obviously been marketed as a direct competitor to the Launchpad, which I have hidden down here. These guys are priced up very similarly priced. So clearly, I think this was a response to Novation's Launchpad, and I've got mixed feelings on each. I've still got to use this a bit more before I give a definitive answer, but some of the things I like about this over the Launchpad is it comes with a built-in Midi Overdub button, and that is really handy, because if you're using this to control drum racks and things like that, you use the Midi Overdub button so you can have it sort of in practice mode, so you can just sort of hit keys and they come out, or hit Midi Overdub and then start recording the hits into your set, so you can sort of start building up a live MIDI set. So I mean, you can map that functionality into the Launchpad, but it's kind of nice to have a button for that straight out of the box. Now, on the cons side of things, no bus power. That's probably my biggest complaint. I would have hoped that sort of getting it down this small, that you would be able to to run it just off a USB port, but you still have to plug this into a mains unit, which is a bit of a bummer. Where that is a bit of a bummer, but maybe they did need that extra juice for whatever reason. Build quality is very nice, exactly the same as the APC40. You've got like a metal back on there. It feels really solid. The faders feel really nice. Pads are good. I can't argue a single fault with the build quality. It's really nice unit. Now, that's kind of just going over my basic first impressions of it. I think this, as I said, it actually does offer some things that the APC40 doesn't. I'm going to do some future videos, and I'm going to show you, maybe next time we talk about the APC20, I'll actually give you some demos of how it all works and the basics of it, and then maybe see if we can figure out what more advanced tricks we can pull out of the bag with this. And also I want to look at maybe doing a showdown with the launch pad, maybe try and plug all of this stuff in and see what we can do with it in the future. But this week I just wanted to I'm going to call this the review episode, and say that I think I really like it, and it surprised me. It really did surprise me. I kind of thought that this would be a sort of a sacrifice sidekick to the APC40 that was only maybe good for like an add-on section. But I think it's going to be able to hold its own. It's quite a cool little unit. So we'll dig into more details next time, and I'll show you how it all works. So that's all we've got time for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed that, learnt a little bit more about the APC20. As I said, there will be more information to come about this controller. If you have got your own 5 cents, 10 cents, even 30 cents that you want to add to this conversation, then head down to the website, theDSPproject.com. Feel free to leave a comment under this video. Also, you can subscribe and get all future episodes. I think that's all about it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.